Good morning, beautiful souls. Welcome to the Art of the Oracle. I am very, very excited to bring this 3-card pick a card reading. Normally I do a Tarot Tuesday, so if you're new to the channel, every Tuesday I grab the tarot cards and we tap into the energy and find out what is going on in that day on Tuesday. So for this particular Tuesday, I really wanted to tap in to more than that. I don't know if you're feeling it. I feel a lot of energy out there that can be a little bit confusing. I feel like there's a lot of confusing things that are out there on the internet, and some of it is just to grab your attention and for their own needs and their own wants, what it is that whether it's for followers or views, but there's a lot of misinformation in that. So this reading is around clarity and hopefully giving you peace of mind or some spark of insight that will help you through your day. So I decided to use the Wisdom of the Elders Oracle, which is what we drew from yesterday, to start the readings and to guide us in for these individual readings. Feel free if you need to watch all 3 of them if you feel like they're relevant. So for pile number 1, we have a card number 43, Smudge and Clearing Energy. And we also have this beautiful rose quartz angel. So that is for reading 1. For reading number 2, we have card number 30, Spirit World with Omnipresence. And then we have the Black Obsidian Raven. And for reading number 3, we have card number 42 with Plant Nation and Herbal Medicine and this Carnelian Buddha. So take a moment, tap in, let your intuitive instincts guide you into whatever reading you feel like it's relevant. And again, if you feel like more than one, there's probably a piece of information that was meant for you. So let's get started. All right, reading number 1. Thank you so much for being here. Let's find out what we need to know today to hopefully give us some clarity. So the first thing is angel is part of your reading. And what I'm tapping into from this particular angel, or the information that I'm getting, is that you're not alone. There's guidance when you get confused. You can tap into your higher self. If you've had a loved one that passed, you can tap into that wisdom. The important thing is to know that all of that is available to you at any time for your guidance. You don't have to come to me to get it, although I'm thrilled that you're here and I'll continue to put out readings for information. But this is coming forward to let you know that there's a deep sense of love, clarity. I brought out this book called Crystal Medicine, and what it says in here around rose quartz, I tabbed each one of the pages, and what it says is that it's a great gift. Obviously, a lot of people, it's a very widely respected and known crystal, but the benefits can be around restoration, healing, old traumas, old energies, and anything that you feel like you have traumas from your childhood, you can bring this in. And I think that that is relevant in some way to your reading. Some sort of ancestral energy, something is coming forward to let you know that that energy is available to you, readily available for you to tap into your angels and to tap into energy around healing from ancestors and loved ones. And because the smudge card is also, if you're unfamiliar with smudge is generally used with sage, anything like around fire and smoke energy that clears away things. If you think about Phoenix, the Phoenix energy around fire and transformation, smudge is an old Indian practice that would, allows a clearing of you. You can circle yourself with smudge. You can circle your room. I recommend, doing your house on a regular basis. I do. Make sure when you do it that you open a window to allow the old energy to be released and for new energy to evolve and change in your space. So these cards are relevant because I feel like part of what it's saying is that old traumas from the past or old feelings of being disconnected, there's a clearing of your energy. And perhaps when I was hearing this morning about all this energy being brought into our awareness through the internet, which is great. I love the internet. That's where you're finding me. But there's a lot of misinformation out there, guidance that is guiding you to someone else's agenda. So know that you can tap in at any time. When I'm saying something, if it doesn't resonate in you, in your soul, then let it go. Grab the things that you really feel deeply are meant for you. So this card is asking you to clear out. This angel here is letting you know that you have what it takes to kind of heal old wounds, trauma, and it's available to you at any time. Just taking the step forward to be able to do this is part of what needs to happen somewhere in your space. So we're going to use the wisdom of the divine feather messenger to bring about additional information. Okay, so lots of things flew out, excuse the pun. The first one is grouse. Embrace the power of dance and movement to access your higher guidance. So grouse energy is around the sacred spiral. And as you can see here, like when I use smudge around myself, I'm spiraling like around my feet, up to my head and back down again. The sacred spiral shows the movement. It's a divine feminine energy. It's found in so many things in nature, and it's asking you to move forward in clearing out old energies and to tap into your own empowerment by tapping into the divine grace, the divine energy of your ancestors in some way. The card here, this beautiful black and white feather, is white owl. So this brings in the wisdom of the divine. So what it's saying is, what I'm getting, the messages that I'm hearing is that there's an importance to clear out old energies so you can receive the divinity of these new messages that are wanting to come in. There's a wisdom in these old practices of clearing with sage, of tapping into the ancient wisdom of ancestors, because there's a lot of information going around on the internet, but not everybody is speaking from a deep wisdom, a deep place of knowledge. Sometimes when you just receive lots of bits and pieces of information, it's just that, and it feels chaotic instead of nurturing. And what the cards are asking you to do is to clear out perhaps some of the things. I mean, I'm guilty of this as well. I love information, so I'm grabbing lots of information. I have a variety of crystal energy here. This is to bring about balanced energy. And then you have this energy that is telling you this is a widely available stone. So it's saying that energies are widely available, but be discerning. Clear out things that maybe you had tapped into previously that aren't working. Clear that old energy. Step into each space as a divine space and place of messaging and wisdom coming in. So we also have this goose energy. And if you're familiar with goose, I love geese. They fly. They have one goose that leads the way, right? They're in this V formation and then that person will drop back and the other person will take the lead. So I feel like that the information that's coming through is when you're needing to move, call on grouse energy, because it's going to access that higher guidance through movement on some level. It's like when you dance, you release old energies as well. When you're calling on the wisdom of the owl to take on ancient energy of really knowing something, that can take the lead. And then this goose energy is saying that the journey that you want to take, you begin it at any time, through movement, through dance. But you have to clear away old energies. We don't want to bring in old, unhelpful energy into our journey as we move forward. But there is something about you taking energy. You have 2 action cards here asking you to take energy. And they're both staring at the owl, which is saying that you have the wisdom. It's asking you to move, but for you to sit in the wisdom of what is true for you. Meditate, as these card readings come to you. What is the overarching message? Are you receiving something more than once? And when things come into you in like the magic number of 3, it means that it's something that it really should put more relevance on than things that maybe only come and go. But when things continually show up, like if owl came into you in today's reading, and a couple of days ago you saw an owl, or you were drawn to an owl image on a shirt or whatever it is, it's asking you to pay attention to the wisdom and the divine messaging that is already present in your life, and to give that more value than what is coming from the outside, because I feel like almost too much energy coming in at times, and it can get really unnecessarily confusing. So interesting. So a lot of messages are coming out in the cards today. So the next message coming forward is I wanted to bring the cards out in the journey. And it is also, again, release, the importance of releasing. What is it that you're releasing out? Now you can let go of things that are no longer serving you, or you can take part of like your gifts and release them out to the world. And that's kind of what I feel like, is that you have to release something, let go, so a purity of information can come forward. So the other card that's coming out is receive. So when your hands are open and they're letting go, you're making space for the ability for more things to be received by you, to be able to utilize. And this, I feel like, is a worldview. Something is wanting to come in, because the other 2 cards that are coming out around this is difficulties and play. So in the middle of like the release and receive, they're like opposite ends of the spectrum, but it's as if so is the difficulty and the play. They're opposite ends of the spectrum, but they're all part of life. You release, you receive. You have difficulties, and then you can be more excited about your opportunities of play after difficulties. So we don't have to wallow in the difficulties. You know what I mean? And ignore, like sometimes when there's a lot of information coming out and we get a little scared or feel fearful, we contract, we hold on to things instead of letting go, because we're afraid that like we're not going to be able to have the things that we used to have. So we hold on. Instead of releasing the fear, we hold on to things because we think by holding on to that thing that'll keep it close to us. No, the thing is release the fear. What is meant to come to you, you will receive. The difficulties that come and go through life remind us of the beauty of the opposite of that, being able to play, being able to, mushrooms grow very rapidly. And so let's dive in. These Sacred Creator cards are the next card. I want to get more information around, wow, that really flew out. I wanted to get more information around the energies of how we move forward in these times. So the card here is asking us to celebrate your wins. So when we have difficulties and we overcome that, we can consider that a win, right? Something that is available to us to put our energy into. And it brings about a lightness in our space. And I think that's what's needed right now. We're going to go to the moon energy. We're coming into this full moon reading in a couple of days. And it's, look at this. So it's asking you, pile number one, to release things. I feel like you have a lot of energy around you that's kind of keeping you a little bit muddled, keeping you in a space that is more contracted. Release the fear, receive, celebrate your wins over difficult times, perhaps, and learn to play. There's something around this needing some peace in your world. And when you release things that have been challenging and allow yourself room to play and to have gratitude and lighten that energy space, to tap into this wisdom and embrace kind of like movement. I really feel like there's that this is something that maybe you've been holding on to for a really long time. And that's why there's so much energy around releasing the old. Like all of these cards here around letting go and healing. And these cards here are very empowering around wanting you to understand that you have everything around you to move forward, to get past difficulties, to learn to play, and then to step into peace. So let's go now to the tarot and ask for additional information for this reading. Yeah, look at this. So we're going from 5 into 6, and both of these cards are around challenges. Like this is a grief card. This is around real deep loss. And I feel like because we have this loss, it's like this card here. It's asking you to really balance these loss, even the 6 of Pentacles. In this particular 6, it shows, kind of like her not really getting what it is that she feels like she deserves, right? It's like he's just handing her a few pennies. And it's not really, she doesn't, by the look on her face here, she's like, is that all I'm worth kind of thing. So I feel like it's time for you to let go, whether it's a person or people in your life, whether it's an idea, whatever it is, it's really time to let it go, because sometimes these things stem from old energies that have been with you since childhood. The energies where you feel like, you weren't nurtured, or you didn't receive what you needed. So let's move a little bit further in the tarot. I feel like, this is a lot of cards, but I feel like this is exactly what you need. I feel like if you were here with me right now, I would give you a big hug. The 8 of Swords energy is around you not being able to see. Like, what's really interesting is in the Temperance card, the angel is standing on land with her foot in the water. And it's to show that balance is needed in every situation. The grounding energy of the earth grounds you into that knowing. And then the water energy keeps you tapped into your intuitive self. This is her just kind of, so all these swords are around her. She's bound and she's, not seeing. And please forgive this like light here. I have really, really tried to work with this light. It's not my favorite because it keeps doing that. Either it's too much light or it just, gives me these really weird, sorry about that. I really had to fix that light a little bit. Hopefully that's a little bit better. There is a little light. So what is going on in your world? Reading number 1, because we have the 5 of Wands around conflict. It's like this is loss. This is feeling like you're not enough. This is feeling kind of roped in by your own thoughts, your own emotions. It's asking you to balance these things out by, you know, feeling like the energy around the swords is around communication. And it's asking you to kind of intuitively go in instead of like maybe you're receiving too much information, or because we also have the Five of Wands. And I like the Five of Wands cards, but in this card, everybody is in a circle, but they all kind of look like they're in conflict. They're not, you know, striving to reach ahead to some more divine understanding. It looks like they're kind of going at each other. It's like everybody's energy, they're all got their wands raised, not working together, but saying what my view is more important than the next. All of this has to end. All of this conflict, all of this craziness around, you know, heartbreak and not feeling like you're enough and getting a lot of information, but it being confusing and feeling like you're, you know, from all this outside influence that you just can't move forward. And it's just a lot of conflict. It's all coming to an end. This has to end. It's too much. And then we step into this Judgment card. The Judgment is a liberation. This is a time of liberation for everyone, I feel like. But I feel like for you in particular, there's this celebration that is coming in to be, because it's like enough is enough already. And it's hard for you to see. This is right here in the middle of your reading. It's hard for you to see because I feel like you have too many influences that are keeping you stuck. I feel like there's a lot of communication coming in, and it's, you know, these are change points, because you can't stay in this feeling of lack. It's very disempowering. You can't stay in this conflict. Again, it creates stagnation. It creates this kind of these walls here. And what's in the middle of these walls around feeling of loss and conflict is you not getting what you deserve and not knowing where to go or how to move. So the Tower card is a card that is inevitable. When something has to shift, the Tower card comes in. What happens after the Tower? Everything falls apart, but then there's a liberation, because most of the things it feels like that are surrounding you are not serving you. And these cards right here in the very beginning is about higher wisdom and learning and understanding that you have what you need, but you have to let go. This is foundational energy. See, I feel like this is higher energies, and this is saying that, you know, rise above these difficulties to be able to move forward. This is going to happen no matter what. It's not a bad card. It's a much needed release. It's like if you shook up a can of Pepsi, all of that energy is going to be in, and you open that can, it's got to blow. It has to, because you've just created too much chaos within a small space. And I feel like that's exactly what's happening. So the last two cards, I find this really incredible. So in this, all this conflict and feeling of lack and everything, now these are major changes and shifts that are happening, pile number one. These are major arcana cards saying that this is happening. We have the Star, which is the ability to tap into higher wisdom and guidance right here, reinforcing. I'm going to put it right here under the white owl, because see all these beautiful energies around her. And she, once again, when I mentioned that when you see things multiple times, the importance of it, the release and receive, the balancing, her putting her foot in the water and standing on line. Tap into your intuitive nature. She's doing the exact same thing, standing on land, tapping into the water. This one, she has like turned her back to the water and is in the land. There is a balance that needs to happen. Strength. I mean, you have the power within you to change things. This is 8, which is the infinity sign, showing that yes, you have difficulties. Yes, that you can receive peace after difficulties. There's a change point in the middle. There's a change point in every figure 8 where everything crosses. In that moment, you are neither here nor there, but you see everything. And that's your perspective point, which allows you, which way are you going? Are you going to go this way or are you going to go that way? All those situations are right. If you have to go back into difficulty to feel it one more time before you can receive the peace or before you think you can earn the right to play, then that's what you have to do. But what it's saying is that you have a choice. You have everything that you need to move forward. You have the guidance. The desires that you want are not too much to ask for. You can have what you desire. It's the releasing of that old, heavy energy that really wants to let go. So I hope you enjoyed the reading and it's giving you the encouragement to move forward. And until Wednesday, we tap into the cards one more time to find out what's up. So I hope you enjoyed this reading. And if you did, I hope you'll give it a thumbs up. So until next time, have a magical day. Bye now. Good morning. Welcome to your reading number 2. Well, it could be evening. It is morning for me as I'm doing these readings today. So if you were drawn to this, it could be because of Raven. I think that Raven is a very magical symbol, and it could be asking you to kind of tap into your magic in some way. Now, I grabbed the Crystal Medicine book to kind of give us additional information around the stone itself and the importance of obsidian, which is this stone that is created, it's a glass really, from lava. And I've always used it in a protective manner. And I loved this stone when I found it in a shop because I felt like it gave you magical protection on some level. And I think that that could be relevant in some way. But when I go to the beautiful Crystal Medicine that's written from Margaret Elspeth, what she's saying here is that it can also help you in decision making, and it can both attract and repel energy. So just kind of like what you can expect around quartz energy, right? This energy amplifies. And the energy around selenite can amplify or clear away energy. So I think what this is saying is that you inherently can put the magic or know that there is magic to create and bring about things for you. And also it can repel and be very grounding energy so you don't take on outside influences that are not that are not for your highest and best good. So now we have this card number 30 around the spirit world. And when we're talking about magic, you see here we've got right in the middle, we have this man and woman, and what looks like this full moon, or it could be the sun. But there's all this transformation here, this bluebird around song and higher wisdom, and then the magic around transmutation around this dragonfly energy, and how dragonfly is somewhat like the phoenix, and it lives most of its life in water, several years before it rises and crawls out onto like a blade of grass or something. And when the sun hits it, it becomes a completely different creature and then takes flight. And I think that there is a relevance around understanding that this is all part of you, who you are. You are the magic. You can bring in negative energy or let negative energy go. And that you are part of something much, much bigger than perhaps where you have considered yourself to be. And this card kind of reminds us, I mean, it's hard. We kind of know that we're attached to everything, but if you spend a lot of your time on social media and all this negative energy comes in, you can think that that is how everything is. But if you step away from that, that can be your world in that moment. But if you step away from that world and go outside and sit under a tree, it's a completely different world. Which world is correct? Whatever magic, wherever you're putting your magic, is what your world is what I'm hearing in that time right now. So make sure that you understand that there is magic in all things. You can call on this magic at any time, and to help guide you and to help protect you, and to know that you're a part of all of it. You're a part of the negative and the positive. It's just, where are you putting your, okay. So I don't know if you saw that, but I went to shuffle and this literally jumped out. So the condor, if you watched my channel in the past, you know that I was in Peru, and the condor is this sacred bird, very revered because it's a massive bird. It's a vulture. And what they do is they clean up things from the world that have died. And I mean, I used to think that vultures were these horrible creatures, but really what they do is they make use of old things, and they eat the old animal after it's dead. They don't kill anything. And what they do is they consume it and transmute it, because they understand that that thing is also part of the divine, and they use the energy of that to fly to great heights. So hold the highest vision for your life. You now possess the ability to move past any hurdles. So it's asking you to remember that the darkness in anything is just, where are you putting your attention? And once you've seen something, you don't have to dive in and go swimming around in it to understand it. I think that most of the understanding comes when we experience something and we step back from it to get a higher perspective. And that higher perspective allows you to get past it and move forward. Now, it's very interesting because these cards are facing each other. It's saying new opportunities and choices are opening for you, so you need to claim them. So if you're holding that higher vision, you can see the opportunities. When the world opens up and your vision becomes wider, when you're focused here, you may still see opportunities, but you'll see more if you step back. And that's what I think it's asking you to do, is to step back away from maybe something that is just a narrow focus, really. Not a bad focus, just a narrow focus. So we're going to go into the journey and ask what information for reading number 2 would like to come out for reading number 2. I feel like it's this card, transformation. So if you, in reading number 1, one of the things that I wanted to impart for that reading is the symbols that repeat themselves. And that means that they're in my mind, especially if you see it multiple times, 2 or 3 times, and you're getting this symbol of this butterfly more than once in this reading. And butterflies completely transform. And so does this dragonfly. It is one thing. It completely transforms into something completely different. From the caterpillar that is on, a leaf, to an animal that flies and soars. The same as the dragonfly, underwater to something that soars. What this is saying is there's an opportunity for you to completely transform who you are, to go into a space that you can really move past these hurdles that have possibly kept you in one way of thinking, and you're not seeing your magic. So now we're using this beautiful energy. This is Chris Ann's. She also does the Light Seers Tarot. And this is just, kind of like sacred knowledge and information. And I love this blue energy. So what's interesting is I talked just briefly about the blue jay. It's almost like I want to look up, because I know that is also, I feel like, relevant to you on some way. And I think it's reminding me, collaboration of the souls with this beautiful blue energy. Now, this could also be reminding you to tap into your third eye, But it's specifically saying that there is something that it's asking you to begin, to jump into, to get into this revive, maybe your creative mode, to transform. Like, let's say you were working at a desk job and you really love to sew, and you now go into a collaboration where you've completely changed what you do and your whole energy and your outlook. And the blue jay that is inviting you to move forward and uncover your mastery. So there was something about needing so this is the same as all of these other cards that are involved here in your reading. The blue jay is around stepping forward and uncovering what is it that is your spark. What is your inspiration? What is that gift that you were born with? And how do you transform your life based around something that brings you joy and shows that you are part of something in a really big way. You're part of something bigger than I think the world that you're living in right now. So we have several cards here from the Spirit Oracle, Moon Oracle card. Well, I was talking about nature, and you have a lot of cards here around the natural world, because all of these cards are showing nature in some way. A lot of flying. These are all flyers here on this card. Flyers, 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 and flyers again here with the owl, the wisdom. It's showing you that what I'm hearing is that the importance for you to see a different perspective, for you to understand the wisdom of going out. I feel like there's something that is really asking you to change either a way that you're thinking or doing or being in the world, because it's not your nature. Your nature is to do, like I had mentioned before, it's not to sit at a desk. It's to sit at a sewing machine because it's more creative. Do you see what I'm saying? There's something trying to get your attention, asking you to step away from something that you're not enjoying because your soul is ready for this growth and transformation. So the other two cards that we have here is, I'm going to put nurture up here because this nature is nurturing to your soul. Again, we have more birds here in this. We have the raven, which is what's here. And then we have the owl again, right? So we have the raven and the owl. We also have like a dog and a cat. We have deer. So there's something perhaps in the animal world. Maybe that's something that you're wanting to do. Tap into the animals in some way. What does she have? She has a book here. So I feel like there's maybe around understanding of nature. There's something that, again, we have another flyer here. And again, we have raven. So we've got raven energy 3 times. We've got owl energy twice. We've got this bluebird energy that is coming in here. And this energy around transforming and shifting your perspective into something much greater than the way that you've been. And I feel like the energy from the light seers is what we need to bring in, to bring a little bit. So where are we going? What is it that is changing for her? Okay, we have the 7 of Swords. So this card, the 5 is around change. It's when something happens and it doesn't feel very good. And the 5 of Swords doesn't have a good energy. But you can see what's very prominent here. There's a magic. There's something that's going to become aware. You're going to become aware of. When you see this card, you can take it a couple of different ways. Like he's getting away with something in the middle of the night. But this is about illuminating that. Illuminating either something that somebody has done or a way of moving out of one situation into the other. This doesn't necessarily have to be a negative card. I feel like it's a card that's illuminating a change point, illuminating getting away from one aspect and moving into another. So let's see what else the cards, are bringing forward for you. I feel like, yeah, I feel like these want to come out, and let's see if there's anything else. Okay, so again, we have a third owl here in this image, and these are both white owls. This is like this divine wisdom of higher perspectives. It's the wisdom of the earthly plane and the soul planes, and it's something that you can receive, that you just have to move towards it. You just have to reach out and grab it, literally. And then the cards here, this is about coming together, like bringing your resources together, and considering making a change. The wands are around that energy of you wanting to move forward, wanting to go out. And, you know, there's a separation here in this card, because she's in this mode where she has things, resources, but she hasn't taken the leap to go out and make it a reality. And what's interesting is right next to it, we have the opposite, where she's finally coming to the understanding is that she alone carries the light that she needs to move forward, but she's at the end of the journey. And I love that it's being flanked by these pentacles. This is the 9 of Pentacles, and if you turn 9 upside down, you get 6. And this is showing the figure 8 in this particular thing, saying that what you reach for, you can have. What, you know, you can sit here and look out all day, or you can, you know, end that contemplation and move forward. This is about reciprocity. It's like you get back what you put in. If you move towards something, it allows you to open up to receive something else. I think it's really beautiful energy. Reading number 2 coming out. And look at this. We were talking about 5 energy and the need for change. Yeah. So this is that energy of finally letting go of, you know, I think it's going down because this is showing 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. It's like dissipating. This energy is dissipating. This cup energy is around where you're putting your emotions. Like this is no longer serving you. So she's still feeding this, and it's not serving you. It's really what I'm hearing. So lastly, we have, again, going back in a new direction. That's what I'm hearing. Going in a new direction to something that you truly love. And perhaps it's going to be around, you know, coming together. The 6, like this, is around bringing ideas together, something together. If you can see right here in the middle of this card, there's a Merkaba right in the middle. It's like when 2 dynamic forces come together in love, it creates a sacredness around it. And it is the life force for all of life, right? Love is what stimulates everything. And I feel like this is part of what is transforming. Perhaps you have felt like you couldn't have this in your life, or maybe you just met somebody and you're wondering, like, what is this? And I feel like there is a divinity around the, you know, they are so close. It's like, where does she end and he begin? They have come together in this sacred union in a way that allows for change. It allows for the collaboration of souls. Wow, isn't that interesting? That I was just finding a home for it, and that's it, is that when you bring everything together, it nurtures you both, and that's what I really feel like is coming in. Let's see if there's anything else. Reading number 2. Yeah, look at that, and a new beginning. The new beginning is like this collaboration that is happening from you reaching this transformative place and raising your energy to a level that attracts the things that you love, not the things that bring you heartache. I really feel like you're overcoming heartache and letting this old stuff go and stepping into this, a new beginning, something that you can really build on, something that will have roots, something that will become like the castle, the place that you're finally going to feel nurtured by. So, wow, this is a really exciting reading number 2. I hope you enjoyed the message here today. And if you did, I'd love to hear from you, or hit that subscribe button if you'd like to see more readings from me. And until then, have a magical day. Bye now. Reading 3. All right, let's dive in and find out what's going on for you. So the first thing that I want to jump into is I grabbed a book on crystal medicine, and I wanted to share with you a little bit of information about the carnelian. It says that it can relieve tension by redirecting energy, and it can also help with reproductive issues. So if you're having challenges in that area, carnelian can redirect the energy. Sometimes when we have reproductive issues, there's too much or not enough energy in one particular area. And it could also be around like resolving feelings of anger and hatred, and kind of, those lower energies around keeping us in a stuck state or feeling victimized. The other thing that I think is very relevant is this is Buddha energy. And what's really beautiful is we have this lotus, which is kind of rising above, and it's up here at the head of this Buddha, reminding us that we all have the ability to transform our struggles into higher learning and wisdom. And that's what I think the Buddha is representing, is this higher wisdom. Now, because this plant medicine come out, and I think that, this one of the ancient rituals is drinking of tea, right? Around the sacredness of, I feel like this is what I'm hearing. I've never thought of it this way before, and I drink tea every day, is there is a marriage between the earth and the water. There's a marriage between your emotional, intuitive side and the gifts of the land. And they come together steeped. You steep tea. You allow them to marinate, to bring out the wisdom for you to drink in a completely new experience. And that's what I'm hearing, which I've never heard that way before. But something about the sacredness of something coming together and you being able to see it in a new way. So maybe that there is some sort of plant medicine that you're considering taking or bringing into your world that is going to open up. I've been in ceremony with a variety of different medicines. I personally, I don't feel like it's for everybody, and I know that there's a lot of information around there. So what I'm hearing from this is around the sacredness of what is in your everyday world. And that's why this tea and this teapot is here, is because it's around understanding that there is medicine all around you, all around all of us. And it's taking the time to feel, maybe even sit with things, and allow that water energy, that emotional energy, that intuitive energy to ground into something for us to create this change, is kind of what I'm hearing. So we're going to go to, this came out in another reading as well. The wisdom of the divine feather messenger, but this is the wisdom, it's sacred knowledge around the owl. It's big white snowy owl, and it's saying that the divine and the wisdoms it's inherent in everything. When we drink the tea, we are receiving the wisdom of the water and the earth and everything that it encompasses. And then the creation, it actually releases that wisdom and allows you to become that wisdom. And so there's something around that I feel like you need to hear. Something that is telling you that either you're wanting to move into more of a sacred space or a sacred union with the wisdom that's around you. And I think it's going to come through some sort of practice that you do, some sort of ceremony on some level. Let's go to the journey and see if we can find additional information there. Yeah, the wisdom of this, I feel like it's deep wisdom. There's some sort of deep wisdom that's brewing. That's what I just heard. That's brewing within you. It's ready to, yeah, look at that, receive. You're ready to receive this information. You're ready to hold it. It's within you now, and perhaps you're so busy you haven't been able to sit down and tap into it. But something is coming in a big way that could create a change in your world or in the world at large. Some knowledge, some information. Yeah, so let's go here to the Sacred Creators deck and ask for, okay, the sacred flow of yes. Okay, isn't that interesting? And that flew out in a big way. There is something that is flowing into you. There's this sacred fish here, the koi. Again, we have a lot of like Japanese or sacred images that are coming up, ancient symbols, and it's saying the sacred flow of yes. And I feel like that's asking you to be open to what's coming in. Even if it's not something that you are steeped in, it's not something that you're that familiar with. I feel like there's something that is very important for you to open up and allow it to flow into your space. So yeah, interesting. So there's a theme that's been running through each one of these readings, and that is when you see something more than once, it's putting more weight. So we have this orange energy, and this is around manifesting. So I think that there's that fire energy that's coming in. We're going into that Leo, I think full moon is what's coming up in the next day or two, depending on when you're seeing this. And it's a great time for you to manifest. I feel like something is going to come in for you. And then we have more of this energy. And how we were talking in the beginning about bringing the elements together of earth and water. We have earth here, manifest, and the sacred flow, which is around allowing things to flow in around yes. And all this fire energy. And the wisdom of the fox is around having the ability to really discern it. You know, I think fox gets a little bit of a bad rap personally, because, you know, they kind of make it sound like, oh, sly as a fox, like he's wily and gonna pull one over on you. And that's not what I'm hearing from this energy that's coming in here. It's about understanding and being a part of something that allows this creative flow to come in and change. I'm gone to the guidebook here around the Moon Oracle, and it's around this powerful force of creation. So it's exactly what I was thinking. So it's like doubling down here on this manifest card, saying that there's an opportunity for you to manifest something. I feel like there's an idea, something is going to come into you, or some information is going to come into you that is divine. Don't let it pass you by. Don't let yourself be small and think that you can't do it, or it's outside of your wheelhouse, your realm. It's not. It's something that it's really asking you to step into. It says you are made of the earth and everything in the universe. You are part of everything. And so nothing is outside of you. And this kind of coming together, or this wisdom around knowing the sacredness of everything that you're doing here. This sacred is this word that I kept hearing as I was, receiving these cards, is very relevant. I don't know if you don't know the sacredness about who you are and what you're here, but there's something that is asking you to tap into that's very, very powerful. What it says here is that you are the planets in the Milky Way. You are the star-filled night sky. You're the golden rays of the fiery sun. You are the infinite universe with all your electric, magnetic perks. You are a trickling stream and river and vast oceans. So it's telling you that you are attracting and manifesting something around. This is embodying something. It's not just thinking about it or wishing around something. This is actually something coming in. And it literally says here in the guidebook, Remember to give back because you will receive endless gifts. And in return, respect and love for everything is what is all that the universe is asking for. Wow, that's pretty powerful. And I'm kind of feeling like this One World Tarot is where we're going to go to find out for, okay. So you didn't see this, but this literally popped up over here on this side. And all of these came in upside down. And I'm asking if it's upside down, and it says yes. So we have the High Priestess, which is card number 2. And this is understanding your divine connection. It did come in reverse. And so I think that's saying that you don't really know, or you're not tapping into that divinity and that creates that power to manifest, because this also came in reverse. And this is the Ace of Cups around this new open-hearted, maybe love coming in. But it being upside down, what I'm noticing is all these lotus flowers. When there's struggle, like here, the lotus flower blooms after rising through great depths to reach the surface. So I feel like something is overwhelming you in some way, because we also have the Queen of Cups, which is this balanced energy around your heart. But I feel like maybe something has come in and it's created a little bit of an overwhelm for you. So let's find out. I'm going to bring in some stones here that I feel like is going to help perhaps change something. I feel like something is around you that's overwhelming you, and it's asking you to open up, receive, and say yes, and not to be overwhelmed. Okay, so all of these cards came out for you. So we're just going to tap in and see what we have. The first one that came in was the Wheel of Fortune, and this is around things that are changing around you. So don't be afraid of these changes. This is a big change that's happening. There's a lot of stuff, and I think that you could be overwhelmed. It's a new beginning. It's a chance for you to really step out there and receive in a new way. So don't be afraid of it, because the Four of Pentacles is around trying to hold on to things instead of the Six of Wands energy, which is allowing yourself to be seen. It could also be saying that you're going to be able to hold on to things in a new way, but I kind of feel like this is kind of like the corporate world and being greedy and holding on to things. And maybe that's the way your life has been. It's like you have felt like there's all this stuff around you and it's not leaving enough for you. But this is saying that everything is changing, and this feeling of lack and having to hold on to everything really tightly is going to shift, and it's going to bring out this new energy. This is a victory around something. And then we have the Three of Cups, which is around a celebration. So there's victory in celebrating. Now, what's really interesting is these are two really sad cards, right? The Three of Swords is around heartbreak. So I feel like this is probably what has kept you kind of stuck in like some of this overwhelm, is because maybe your heart was broken around something. And the Five of Swords is around, you know, this is the energy that somebody kind of hurt you or took advantage of you in some way and felt like they were the winner in this whole thing. And the truth is that I feel like this is old energy. I'm going to go to this other tarot deck and around the Light Seers tarot deck and find out, like, I feel like this is past energy. I'm going to do something that I haven't done before, and I'm going to ask through this if this is past energy. And the information that I'm getting is a yes, that this is past energy for you. And so where is this in all of this? And why did it come out? I feel like the reason why it's coming out at the end of your reading, even as I'm saying that, I'm hearing the answer. It's like it's coming at the end of the reading to show that this is the ending of this. It's like you're receiving and manifesting, open up this energy that has kind of kept you small. It's not relevant for you anymore. This is not you anymore. This is the past. This is something that created a space for you to be able to flow and to receive the things that you do want in a bigger way. I'm going to go to the Light Seers and see if there is anything else for reading number 3. Okay, these 3 cards right here. So yeah, King of Cups. I feel like there's new love possibility either for yourself or coming in. Look at, we've got this broken heart again. And this, are you with somebody that is kind of giving you this broken heart? Because this energy is moving quickly. And either you have felt or you invested your heart in someone or something. And I feel like this is standing between you and everything that you're desiring. And this fast moving energy is some sort of broken heart. This is literally the exact same card, saying that you're tied up in some broken hearted. And that's the reason why all these cards around you being able to tap into your higher intuitive self. And yeah, so there's a healing that needs to happen. And this is what I'm going to do is when I was in Peru, the shamans either blew smoke or they put like this beautiful Florida water to change the energy. And that's what I'm doing, like changing the energy around this brokenheartedness so that you can move forward quickly in the things that are trying to come out for you, that are really wanting to shift your perspective, going into a place of victory and allowing a celebration, which I feel like you haven't had for a very long time. So sending you tons of love, reading number 3. I know that all of this is possible. This is an empowering reading. This is an empowering reading telling you to leave this and to say yes to this sacred flow that is wanting to come in, this new beginning, this new change point. It's asking you to really like sit in ceremony with what it is that you want to have in your space. And yeah, the wisdom, divine, it's all here for you. This, you're not a victim of this, but this has left you, I feel like, a little bit scarred and a little bit closed off. And so it's time now to open yourself up. I am going to write these energies before we end your reading. And I'm going to bring in like this clearing of this energy for you so you can really, so you can hopefully receive the healing that you need around these old things, because they really are informing you in a way that you needed to see on some level. And it's going to be very personal to each person that sees this. So thank you so much for being here. Please join us for What's Up Wednesday. And until then, have a magical day. Bye now.